You know what's better than a Winnebago?
Oh, I gotta grab my glass anyways.
A Winnebago, that's a limousine.
Welcome to another episode of The Extraordinary Gentleman. Today we discuss camping stories, pairing them with whiskey. Some people haven't been camping here. We'll get to that topic.
You may think that we do too many podcasts about whiskey, and you'd be right. But don't think about it too hard, because you're probably not listening to this while you're camping anyway. So, welcome. How are we doing today?
Perfect. And then we'll do the music going now.
Okay.
And then let's pick up. All right, we're just back from our music. Probably. You know. We have to imagine it. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So, starting today. So, guys, we're back. Another episode.
Yeah.
This is the, I think we'll do episode 1 and 2 of the Bourbon Trials. And this will probably air next, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
In like 2 weeks from now.
In a while.
For you, it's now. It's aired now.
We get to do this live, guys. We get to listen.
It's so hard to keep track of
right
dates and
away.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't even remember what
I play Zelda while I edit this. Just looking. I have a notepad open, looking for areas I have to like reduce the sound of Carter's laugh or something.
I am hurt.
I am hurt. I am shamed.
I have been
Attacked.
just,
Physically.
I have been emotionally and physically attacked by this man.
Yeah.
This man.
So we're going to talk about camping. And
Originally, we're going to be camping while we did this podcast episode.
yeah, but it didn't end up happening for some reasons. But we still like thinking about it.
It's a good topic.
Yeah.
We're in the summer.
Yep.
You know, people are going to be camping.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pandemic. One of the few things you can do is
Yep.
camping while being socially distant.
Mm-hmm. Giving Bigfoot COVID-19.
Yep, exactly. As he deserves.
Yes, he deserves.
As we can wipe out all the cryptids by giving them COVID-19.
Loch Ness
The
Loch
Loch Ness
twice.
Monster will be
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Mothman. Chupacabra.
Yeah, Chupacabra.
Snuffleupagus.
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 He's real. We've seen him. Often takes the form of a butterfly and follows us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snuffleupagus from, Winnie the Pooh.
I felt bad yesterday because I think I must have run him over. I was on my
Is
way.
Snuffleupagus from Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
know if it is or not.
Snuffleupagus is from Winnie
Is
the
it?
Pooh.
I didn't run over, but a butterfly flew into my
no, it's
windshield.
not.
I don't think it is.
That was the
you killed the butterfly?
I killed a butterfly.
Yeah, it's the
didn't-
heffalumps.
It didn't just splat on my windshield. It hit it and then bounced off.
Oh.
And then I'm like, oh man, that was a big
You
butterfly.
managed to wound a butterfly, not just kill it instantly.
Yeah. And I looked behind me and I actually saw it. A little, not little,
like,
big insect falling from the sky. I'm like, oh, it's too bad. Because I've rarely ever roadkill anything. I've roadkilled one cat. That was it.
That's probably worse than I've done.
Yeah. Yeah, Snuffleupagus is from Sesame Street.
Yeah, no,
I never watched Sesame
were
Street,
off.
to be honest.
I knew it wasn't
Except for
from that.
I watched Elmo, but he doesn't count.
Big Bird.
That definitely
never watched
counts.
Big Bird.
That's
You never
Sesame
watched
Street.
Big Bird.
No, Elmo had his own
counts?
TV show. He wasn't on the regular Sesame Street.
Yeah, he had Elmo's World,
right. But
which
that
was from Sesame Street.
for real.
Yes.
That was his own TV show.
No, it was like a sub thing from
it?
the show.
I'm pretty sure it was his own TV show.
Nah.
I watched Sesame Street a little
Gonna
bit.
find that out too.
Wow, so
Google.
all we need to know is I defended the Snuffleupagus and knew it wasn't Winnie the Pooh, obviously.
Okay, Elmo's World was made in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 11 seasons of it.
Its own TV show.
That's what it looks like, I guess.
Facts.
Facts.
Dumb.
Well, so I think
Freaking Elmo.
freaking Elmo. Getting into this camping, we're going to share some of our personal experiences, some stories, just general things about camping. Nothing too in depth. Probably not going to give very good tips if we do give tips. Because we've all had our, as you probably will know from these stories, we are not people you want to take advice from. So.
Bring a knife.
Bring a knife.
Don't die.
I always wanted to see what would happen if I went out into the wilderness by myself, with just a knife.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
How long?
Oh, so you're just gonna go as long as you can.
As long as I can.
Okay, so there's not like a 3 day.
There's always gonna be a way out, but I'm not gonna give myself any hospitality, privileges.
So like you're
not
saying,
bringing in anything except for the clothes that I'm wearing.
You want to plan like a trip by yourself.
Yeah.
Like up to the Boundary Waters.
Are you selecting the location, or is somebody else?
I'm selecting the location.
Or like Gunflint. And you're going to do like...
Honestly, I want to go to Canada.
Okay, so you're going to do like dispersed camping in Canada.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're just going to use that knife to kill all of your food.
Not necessarily, no.
Or to get your food.
You can make traps to kill
the first thing I was going to... In my mind, I haven't thought this out like super well, but in my mind, the first thing I was going to make was tensile rope-like substances out of vines or grass or roots and such to create snare traps to get squirrels and small rabbits, other small mammals.
I would have just used it as a spear.
Put the knife on a stick and throw it as a spear?
I mean, I would have used the knife to maybe whittle a spear.
Uh-huh.
Or tied it to a... Yep. And just stabbed a fish.
I don't know. I feel like Rust logic doesn't apply here, though.
That's not Rust logic. That's just...
It's the first thing you get is the spear.
That's big brain.
Big brain.
That's big brain.
Well, so that's a good goal to keep and maybe do at some point.
Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, and I'm going to bring a bottle of whiskey, too. That way when I fail, I won't feel as bad about it.
Because you'll be buzzed.
More than just
dehydrated.
Yeah, you'll be dehydrated and defeated.
Starving.
Better open this up.
Weak in the legs.
It'll get you through.
The whiskey will be the final nail, but it'll be...
Liver failure never did
what a way
anyone.
To go.
What a way. Well, so I don't know how we want to do this. If we want to... One person wants to take the lead and talk about experiences, and then after their experience, go get their bottle of whiskey that they had selected to represent how they feel whiskey should be represented in
I want to go first.
Do it.
I've never been camping before in any way.
All right, next we're gonna go with Zach.
Yep. No, let's start from the bottom because now we're here.
Yeet.
Yeah, yeet.
So Carter, what can you tell us about camping experiences that you may have had, even the slightest hint of camping, and then recommendations, stories, and then finally wrap it all up.
Recommendation: go real camping, because camping in your backyard is stupid. I will say, in like a week or two, I think it's like, don't make fun of me. I'm having a hard time thinking. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Me and 3
While this is happening,
friends.
Do you mind pouring me some of that EHT or Elijah Craig barrel proof?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes. Do we want a cork pop on that?
I think it deserves it. I've never had it yet. This is the first time the cork's been opened, so it's a fresh cork.
Ooh. Dang.
Is that a 9?
That was loud. Yeah. But basically, we're going up to Tofty. We're gonna camp. We're gonna do some mountain biking. So that will be my first taste of somewhat real camping.
Okay.
So I will say that I will have.
Are you staying in a tent?
No, I'm staying in a hammock.
Okay, hammock.
I'm good.
What's the numbering on that? This is the Elijah Craig B520 batch that I just recently got. In case you were wondering.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's 2 weeks from now. You're going to camping hammock.
Yep, hammock camping in Tofty, Minnesota. Then we're gonna ride a mountain bike trail from Tofty to Lutsen as a day trip. We're gonna come back, do some more camping. It's gonna be sweet.
It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. The only time that I have done any sort of, well, I guess there was the one time I made a fort in my basement. Does that count?
No.
Okay. I slept in a tent outside in my cousin's front yard once.
It's on the yard and it's in a tent. It counts.
Yeah. I was woken up by
feel like-
cars drag racing
Yeah.
down the main street.
That happens deep in the mountains.
Yeah.
You'll hear the theme song to Initial D, and then you'll just start hearing the engine revs and the roars. And the 8 of M2s and Supras will always, they do their morning calls.
Yeah. And then, they might throw in like a R32 here and there.
Yeah,
or
here and there.
a GTR, some type of GTR or something.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
And then it all gets drowned out by the horrible Subaru. Brah, 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 brah,
And
brah,
then-
brah, brah, brah.
No, and then it all gets even more drowned out by the stupid Honda kids with the fart can exhaust on his little piece of crap Civic.
Those still win races though. That's
know.
the thing, because they're still better than
They're so
a lot
fast.
of actual designed to be race cars.
So I don't mean to cut in, but
Sorry, camping. Yeah.
no. This is actually more so off track. This Elijah Craig barrel proof, the B520. It's really good.
This is really good.
Really good. It drinks really light for a 127. But that was sorry.
That's okay.
Continue.
Well, they're my camping experiences and or stories.
Okay. So
I know more about camping than I did, so I can at least survive in the woods.
Yep.
it's good.
At some point.
Until I starved.
Until I
What's your favorite
starve.
camping food? Like,
Oh, straight up beans.
that's it.
Baked
Beans.
or-
Yeah, baked beans.
Okay.
Just baked beans. Baked beans
From
and hot
the
dogs.
That's your dinner. That's what you're eating, or like what?
Nah, I'd say baked beans and hot dogs.
Okay. Beans and Franks.
Yep.
Yeah, that just sounds so good.
It's traditional camping. I
I get
approve.
that. I get that.
Yeah.
You know, you go on a nice hike, you come back, start a fire, or throw the baked beans over the fire, you crack that bad boy open, you just eat them right out of the can. Because why not? No one's there to judge you. Might as
You're not gonna
well.
clean dishes.
You're right.
You're not clean dishes.
Just look like a slob.
Been in the same clothes for 3 days.
Yeah, I smell
Sweating.
just smell terrible.
Mosquitoes are everywhere. You're spraying yourself down with bug spray, so you smell like that.
You're just muddy. You're just gross.
You're ready to die.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
We can
'cause I've done
imagine.
it, but the smells I had, just not bathing for 7 days, and then you get back into a semblance of society. Like first restaurant you go back into just to eat something
This
good.
is nice.
You're like, this is
This
nice.
Perkins
and then
is
the
really
waiters,
classy.
the waitress is like, hi, how can I help? Oh, you, how can I help you? Waters for everyone. Okay.
As they go back into the kitchen, you hear.
Gee. That actually kind of happened. We went back. It was a general store that also had a breakfast joint in it. In a valley in Colorado, and we hadn't showered or bathed for 7 days. There was
Which trip was this one? Was this the one with the
was
Nick
with-
went on?
Yeah, Nick, Jack,
Okay.
Henry, those guys. And Henry, the eldest among us, was like, "Do you guys know how bad you smell?" I'm like, "I don't actually. I can't. Because you're so used to it.
No, yeah.
You just don't
You're
know.
used to your own smell.
Yeah, but kind of when you walk into that air conditioned environment, you kind of start getting back used to it, and you're like, oh, I start smelling worse and worse by the second. And you go and take your order, and you smell the food, and you're like, oh, it smells really good. And then you turn away, smell yourself again, and it hits you. You're like, I smell worse than the dump I took in the woods.
Oh no.
It's bad. It gets bad. So I would recommend, wherever you are camping, make an effort to find a water source to just rinse yourself in.
I
Scrub
imagine
your pits, please.
camping in Washington and Oregon has made me appreciate the amount of camping sites that Minnesota has that are just like island based or on the the edge of a lake or something,
yeah.
and you take for granted that immediate water source for either just like getting some water for bathing or
Yeah.
if you're properly filtering it for drinking, and how much easier that is, and you don't actually have to think about water as much as you would be like for us when we had to think about it when we were going to Oregon and Washington. So, but it's something that we've all, I think, been through. And I took that completely for granted. I think the first time that we went out of state, non-lake camping.
Yeah.
Because that was something that we always did was, we had the big Crestliner with the inboard, V8 that my grandpa had, and we'd take it up to Capitogama with Edwards and Brooklyn, Dawson would be there, and take that and do some island camping, really some solitary camping
those
style.
Are relaxing times.
Maybe like a week.
Yeah.
That was the thing for the summer.
Nice.
You get out of school, June, look forward to that. Get out there in Capitoga, maybe gone for a week and just doing that.
And June here in Minnesota up north is
beautiful.
It's perfect. Like
the
mosquitoes start coming out, but they're not like horrendous yet.
Now they are.
Now we're midway through July, and it's not even that bad because it's so hot right now specifically.
Oh, you need to go in my backyard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could already tell in the backyard, in the front yard.
That's why I was trying to hurry up and get out of the driveway quick and just be like, we need to get inside now before they come.
We gotta go.
They're coming.
Yep.
The swarm.
All right, so since Carter detailed to us what he has and hasn't done, you should reveal what you have brought, what you think is a great camping whiskey.
I would like to ask, is this something that you think that you would bring with you, or do you think this is just a good example?
No, this is something I'd bring with me.
Okay, so you're purchasing this to take.
If I had it,
are you going to purchase this and take it up on your trip?
If I could find it, yes.
I'm interested in what it is you selected. All right, so you go get that, and we'll discuss. And don't you ruin your glasses, dude? Almost. Sunglasses. There should be a report on how fast people go through sunglasses within the summer.
I've had those sunglasses for like 5 years.
Are they actually glass or plastic?
Plastic ones.
Not glasses, then.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Plastics. I don't know. I've always been a advent of plastic sunglasses, right? The cheapest you could possibly buy, right?
No, yeah.
But then I don't know. I'm starting to come around because what happens is I actually do keep them for long enough where they're obviously worth the price, but plastic lenses get so scratched so easily. I mean, you put them in the same keys or the same pocket as your keys, they're ruined.
You put them in your pockets?
The sunglasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm, either when I walk inside and I'm wearing a hat or something, and I usually I flip them up to my forehead on my head. But then they get gross because of hair grease or hair product. So then I'd either take it off and hang it from my butt pocket or just slide it into my left pocket when I gotta just do something with my hands real quick. All right,
so don't tell us yet. We see it, but like these guys don't know it. So yeah. So all right, sunglasses, interesting. Carter's back. He got his bottle.
Yep.
This is mine now.
It's fine. He spit it and he's got COVID in that thing now. All right, so what did you bring us?
Lagavulin Nick Offerman edition.
It's a good one.
I'm very excited.
Yep. It's yummy.
Nice smoke to it.
Yep.
Cork pop.
It's an old cork.
Weak sauce.
A lot
It's
of
old.
teas, not a lot of show. I gotta finish my.
The
stench. Oh,
it stinks.
Nice
and good. I love this Nick Offerman. Very tasty.
I gotta get a mic stand that's easier to get out of this chair.
I just want to get booms.
I think we will. We'll go into that other room. I think we definitely need to.
Booms,
Hopefully
baby.
the sound quality will improve. Thank you. And so we have technically recorded with this bottle, but it never made it on the air. This is the Nick Offerman collaboration he did with Lagavulin, obviously. 11-year age statement, 46%. It's a little bit more subtle than the 16, the famous 16.
Yep.
That he almost, made famous, at least for, I think,
From Parks and Rec.
mainstream people, mainstream
Yeah.
whiskey drinkers. That,
They're like, whoa, Ron Swanson drinks this. I have to.
Oh, the
Yeah,
nose.
I really like the Nick Offerman edition. I think
Brine.
it's not my favorite of log, but it's well, how much
It's
it's a better value. I think this is 53.
No,
I thought this was a little bit
so
more expensive.
so before the tariffs went in place, and Lagavulin, I think for the most part, I've seen steady at $83 about. Some stores are still at the original price, like 70. But this was either the same pricing as the 16, or I think in some cases $10 less. Around here though, and I do still know a store that I think might still have a bottle or two. I told you about this.
Did?
Carter's like super excited all of a sudden.
I'm hype. I want
So
it.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you after
Oh, yeah.
where it is. Just remind me. I do have a second bottle of this in my room that when this does go out, I have a reserve.
God, it's so good.
But I say I think this was either the same at 73 or $10 less, about 16.
So I remembered it being priced less, but they're very comparable to each other.
I think a lot of people are trying to scalp a
yeah.
little bit higher.
Oh.
Yeah, and also because of the Parks and Rec, it's more popular. I think right now when they released it.
At least when they released it, it was...
It's a smaller run,
Yeah.
but they flew off the shelves.
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
comparison.
I have not heard anything that this. I think everyone assumes this is just a limited edition, you know, and it's not going to stick around because we haven't seen it come back. Obviously, it's been a year now, maybe.
Year and a half, I think.
Has it? Okay,
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's probably not. It's not coming back.
I feel like he might do another collaboration.
I
with
would hope so.
Lagavulin,
That would be amazing.
Because,
At least, because that would.
like,
I think it would make every batch, so to speak, if it is a batch, special in its own right.
Yeah,
I would totally collect those.
that'd be so awesome.
Totally
Just like
collect those.
every Offerman edition, it has a different age statement every
Buy
time.
two, open one.
Yeah,
Oh my
it'd be
gosh.
so good.
I have not had the 8 years, so I cannot, say 100%, but there's not a bad Lagavulin. Not a bad Lagavulin at all. The 12-year cast strength is phenomenal.
I was thinking about purchasing the 8-year because it's
You just don't know.
yeah.
You
Also,
never
when
see
I was-
anyone
when I was-
buying that.
Yeah,
It's always
when
the
I was
16.
reading like reviews on it, they're like, oh, you should spend the extra whatever 20, 30 on the 16 but they're like, but it's got everything that the 16 has, but just like milder. But how much milder is
The 16 is milder.
No, the
the
8 mile.
eight's-
The
the
8's
eight's
mile.
milder.
the 8 is less punch, I guess, less flavor
Okay.
than the 16.
It's one of those things I feel like you got to know.
You got to know. So
So you're missing out.
I didn't buy it, sadly to say, the 8, but
Well, I mean, we have another chance tomorrow.
yeah, we do.
So what do we think about Carter's?
It's a great pick.
I agree.
Nice and smoky. It's
Sit by the campfire.
Yep.
Sip on it.
yep.
I think a smoky Scotch. It is like the quintessential camping. You get those meats. You're cooking the
Yep.
meats when you're camping. You get the smoke from the fire that just clings to your clothes, and then that embodies camping.
I like this
smoky
too.
Scotch.
This tastes a lot better when you're after like a hard day of like usually you go into the when you're camp, you go in the woods, you find a dead
doing a hiking.
tree, you fell it, or you're doing a hike,
Filming some
and you come back,
Bigfoot documentary.
yep, and you're hungry, right? So you're cooking dinner, and like Dylan said, it just mixes well, so
and
well
it stands up to anything.
with yeah, it does, yeah. I
can't
have good memories of Lagavulin.
Because that brings as one of the stories that I had that you and me were on the trip would have been the Washington trip last year, / Oregon, I should say. That I bought Lagavulin 16, and it, that was the perfect whiskey for it. And we finished it off, I think, in Oregon by the lake, Crater Lake, one of the forests when we were camping up on that.
We finished it that night.
I think we did. We were watching other guys
And Tropic Thunder.
and Tropic Thunder. And we finished that thing. That was
a great night.
great.
I remember. I vividly remember that because I was a little tipsy and I wanted to see I wonder what this looks like when you spit it into the fire. So
Wow.
I had like 3/4 of my glass.
That was the Knob Creek you spit in.
Are you sure?
I don't think you would have wasted 16 because
I totally would have.
the creek
I was pretty.
the creek was 120 proof, so it was hotter anyways. Maybe I don't know.
But I remember, such beautiful colors. That was the last quarter of my glass. I didn't drink it. I just put it all in my mouth. And I just spewed it out into the fire.
Yeah, it was Brooklyn,
Blues
you
and
and I.
greens, and
Yep.
I've never seen a purple fire before.
You've never
That's
seen
the
purple
peak.
fire before?
Yeah.
You
No,
ever
I've never
burn?
seen
You ever burn
purple.
copper
No.
in fire?
No.
Does the exact same thing.
Does it?
It's awesome. If you find, I'm pretty sure it was copper, but if you find like old copper wiring, or just like
I thought you were supposed to put something inside the copper tube and burn it. Like it was copper and something else.
no, it was just I think it's just straight copper.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because you can also buy ones that like they're like rainbow things.
They do other color. Yeah.
Well,
I've seen those.
It's like you go to the store and you buy like it's like rainbow fire or something like that, and you throw it in. It's basically just a bunch of copper, and
To
when
entertain those 3-year-olds when you're camping.
yeah.
I don't know. When I was a kid, my dad would always buy those poop snakes fireworks.
The poop
Yeah.
snakes are actually sweet.
It was a classic. I kind of want to just get a bunch of those and throw them in a fire.
Yeah, poop snakes and or smoke bombs. That was like,
I mean,
and in Minnesota, those are the only fireworks you can legally have.
Well, I
Somebody
mean, we
says
got-
buy fireworks. And
Yeah.
they're gonna get
Yeah.
snakes and
Yeah.
smoke bombs, and you're like,
What's the line from Joe Dirt? We got sparklers and snakes, and that's it.
that's it.
Got no zippies, do-dahs, do-don'ts. You know,
I want some of those screamers. You ever know what the screamers are?
No.
Yeah.
You light them
well,
off and they go, woo!
Oh,
They
yeah.
fly
Those are
up
awesome.
into the air and
Love
they just
those.
scream the whole
Yeah.
time.
Panzer is just dying on you.
Yeah, poor guy.
He was fine like 5 minutes ago. Anyways, so
Whatever.
yeah. So Zach, do you or me? Who wants to go first?
I want to go next.
You
'cause
okay.
You'll see why.
Yeah.
With what I picked, but so my also the camping memory, I guess. Kind of not really spooky, but my favorite like meal. We were in Crested Butte, Colorado. Crested Butte is very beautiful later in the summer because there's a special kinds of flowers that bloom during that time of year. And Crested Butte is not like the mountainous parts of Colorado. It's a little more hilly. They're just big hills. And so the hillsides and the scapes, tall grass. It's usually just, green, it's whatever. It's a big hill. And then boom, August hits. It's like
Just colors.
it's like the sound of Sound of Music,
Sound of Music.
like with the Edelweiss popping up. It's not actually Edelweiss in Colorado, but it's just purples and reds and vibrant yellows, and it's so beautiful.
The fields are
So we
alive.
stayed in Aspen Forest around there, and this is kind of glamping. We were sleeping outside in hammocks on the ground. We weren't like RVing, but we were cooking with propane. We cheated. Okay, we did have a fire, but we were cooking with propane. We made these delicious cheeseburgers. Oh, that is the best cheeseburger I've ever had.
The
Mainly
sultry in your
because it was the
voice.
only thing I ate that day, really. Because before it took all day to get there, we couldn't stop, so we just
Yeah.
had like snacks. And you get there, it was night. We had the fire going, so we're making cheeseburgers. And we have me and my friend Jack. We're cooking, and we have these headlights on so we can see the color of the meat, so we don't over or undercook. And we look out. I looked out into the darkness, and I see these eyes peering back at me. I'm like, crap, there's something here. Like, these are big eyes. Like, they're low to the ground. I'm like, I wonder if something's stalking us. You know?
Snap.
I'm like, guys, what is that? I just shout, like, guys, there's something over there, like in the prairie, in the tall grass. They're like, what? Where? So everyone like gets up from the fire, turns their headlight on. I'm like, I don't see it. I'm like, there's eyes. Like, I was like almost like too stunned to be like, look. And then finally someone saw it. He's like, what is that? And he wasn't scared at all. I'm like, this is gonna be wimpy, isn't it? And he's like, it's a fox. It was just it was like a teenage fox. It was not even that big.
Little
but
fox.
the eyes look so big because teenage animals have bigger eyes than their adult counterparts.
I gotta ask something though.
Yeah,
What did it say?
yeah. First it went nee 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 nee, and then ahi. And then it went oh, and then we just floated into the sky and never came back.
It ascended.
It ascended into fox heaven and became Star Fox.
It became ascendant, and it just was like,
Hello, Papa.
"Oh."
So
And that's how Star.
It is not your
yep,
time.
and that
my
night,
son.
like another night that we had, we drank this whiskey. Let me get it.
Ooh, I like one that has backstory.
Is this something that you did with Dylan, or is this a different night?
No, this is. I think this what he's referring to is when Jack, Nick, and him were out. Oh my god! Did we?
Oh my!
You guys are gonna. You're not gonna be shocked when I pick mine, but the good news is none of us have the same.
Okay, but I kind of figured.
So,
like when I grabbed that, because like I was the idiot who had never been camping before and thought that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick freaking Yukon Jack, like a retard.
I had to help this guy try to look for a total today.
Shut up! I was trying my best. I did not know where it is. I knew that it would not be in the whiskey
section.
section.
Good for you that they were sold out somehow.
Yeah, which is good.
Yukon Jack.
Yeah, of the trash.
Which, by the
liqueur.
way, is not a whiskey.
Thank you, Dylan, as I figured that out.
Liqueur.
I understand that.
So this is the less subtle older brother of what...
I love that we're doing the 16 after the 11.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to go next. You were doing the Lagavulin 16, less subtle older brother of Carter's Pick, the Nick Offerman edition. This is my... it isn't my favorite scotch, but this is up there with like... because it's only so good... because it also aligns with some of my best memories, you know.
Okay, but what about... So you really like that?
I really like
for the
this.
scotch.
Yeah.
What about your Glenfarclas?
This is way better than Glenfarclas.
Well, I understand it's like better, but like I mean, it's also two different regions.
Right. Yeah. This is Peaty, Isla. Glenfarclas is technically Highland, and it's...
That's as different as this between your Yukon Jack, essentially, comparing.
But, I mean, I like both, but Glenfarclas is not my favorite. I only really wanted Glenfarclas because two reasons. One, I've heard it's really good, you know, value for what it is. And second, my favorite scotch before, or still kind of is in memory, I don't know, I only had it once, was the Yamazaki, the original 12-year from Japan.
We found that today.
For what, 120?
99.
Was it a 12-year?
It's supposed to be 12-year.
Yeah, the 12-year was 99.
The 12-year was it was 100 a total, and then it was...
There's a 12 and there's an 18, which I've never ever seen the 18.
No, it was the 12-year. The 12-year was at top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that both? Total and...
It was at top 10. It might have been at total.
I saw it at total.
I think it was in the case, though.
No, well, maybe. I think I saw it its own shelf. Anyways.
The Yamazaki is very comparable to a Highland Scotch, but it's got lots of nutty flavors too.
But at $100,
it's not. It just isn't worth $100. Right. It just isn't. No one. I'm going to tell you, everyone right now listening, do not buy the Yamazaki 12-year for $100. Buy the Glenfarclas 12-year.
Interesting.
So and the reason I say this is because I was watching our favorite YouTube channel, Whiskey Tribe, and they were talking about the Yamazaki, and Rex was like, hold on one sec. And he grabbed the Glenfarclas 12. Okay. And he drank that way faster than the Yamazaki. And that almost hurt my feelings. So I was like, is Glenfarclas better than Yamazaki from this guy? I don't think so. When I did buy the Glenfarclas 12, I didn't.
So it's not better, but for the price.
So
I will say, I was doing some research on the Glenfarclas.
We gotta get to 16 in our glass. What are we doing?
I know. What are we doing?
I'm sorry. Hold on. I wanted to do a cork pop, but...
Well, I did also stop him because I was... Wait.
You may continue.
Because
I love whiskey that has memory.
It's just something that makes it so much better.
This has... I feel like Lagavulin 16 is probably one of those that has the most, like people have the most stories that links this whiskey to some event in their life. And for me, it's camping, with friends and stuff.
Definitely.
And it's one of those whiskeys that improves the moment.
Well,
it doesn't make it. Whiskey doesn't make the moment.
No.
It shouldn't make the moment. But it definitely...
Did you say it should or shouldn't?
It shouldn't.
Okay, good. I was like...
Well, I should say whiskey is not something that is needed to require to make memories.
Exactly.
But it does add and can, really impact a certain memory and improve on that.
It's just like eating a specific food or having like something like that specific smell that you get from like your grandmother's place or something like that. Like it's the same kind of like just intensity that you kind of get from that.
It smells sweeter off the nose than the 11.
It does. It's very sweet.
It smells, for me, it's like it's toastier.
Oh.
taste toastier too.
Oh, but like what I was
This
saying
almost
about,
brings a tear to my eye.
about that Glenfarclas is me and my dad. So my dad is not he likes scotch.
But he's not a whiskey guy.
He's not a whiskey guy.
Okay.
He enjoys scotch. But he doesn't like any other region other than usually Highland. He dislikes peat with a passion.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, we have to check out Glenfarclas because he usually buys Glenlivet or Tomatin or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, Zach gave us this Glenfarclas, and I really liked it. And so there's a 10-year, there's a 12-year,
So good.
and I think it was a 17.
Yeah, it goes 10, 12, 15, 17, 20,
21.
1, and then there's 25. That's like a special edition. And then beyond that, they have, what are they called? Anniversary dates. Where it's like 1987, 1992, 1997.
Is it the 15 year that's the cast strength, or is it its own thing?
15 years.
The 15 is the cast.
No. That's called the Glenfarclas 105.
105.
And I don't know why they call it 105. It's not 105 proof. They just call it the 105.
What's the proof on it?
I'll have to double check.
Okay.
I know
Well, he's doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to try the 17 or the 21 year.
Yeah.
I would just be interested. I know it's a little bit expensive. It's kind of spendy, but I feel like it would just kind of broaden that, because I've never had something that's been aged that long, at least not in a blend.
What's the oldest statement whiskey that you've had? Is it the Lagavulin 16?
It might be the Lagavulin 16
Okay.
that technically had an age statement on it.
Right. And that's still a very respectable. The Lagavulin 16 is like
Bomb.
it's bacon wrapped in smoke, wrapped in sugar, wrapped in just sea, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
But the Glenfarclas 105 is 120 proof. It's 60%.
Holy crap!
And that is just off the quick articles, but it won a couple of best bang for your buck.
Did you happen to see a
whiskeys.
price on that?
No, I've never seen it in person.
I told you that
And
they had it at Ace.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's time to get it, I guess.
Hey, we may have to. We'll keep an eye out for it tomorrow.
Well, I mean, I was gonna, because I saw that 21 year.
I did see that 21 also. Yeah.
At
I mean, it actually says it's at Total Wine, but not at the one we went to. It's $90.
is it at the one in Bloomington?
$90 is not terrible for cast strengths. I have the 12-year Lagavulin,
No, it's the
which
closest one is Allen, Texas.
Yikes! Oh my. Yeah, I'm good.
So the Ace is probably
For total. I mean,
the Lagavulin 12-year is, for me, I think the flavors are not as refined as the 16, but it does make up for it in that proofing, which I think is a 57 point something. That is a classic. I think I overspent a little bit on that. I think I paid $150, and I think I saw a few at total for $120-ish.
yeah.
But what was that?
That's the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, the pup outside the door here is he's sad right now.
He's
I
fine.
guess.
He's not being abused. He just wants in.
He just wants in. He's like, "Can I drink? Can I lap up your whiskey?"
Panzer the dog. Well, so yeah. Anyways,
This is so good.
so
16.
so you said this is like, is this one of the whiskeys that gives you memory?
Oh yeah.
Your memories when you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good times just flood back into my head when I take the first sip.
I don't even need to have.
You don't even need good memories for this.
I don't even need memories
Well,
to know.
I mean, I don't
memory.
even need to have had this.
Yeah.
It to know
in
it's
the memory,
perfect for.
But to know that like this is perfect for sitting around a campfire. Same with the 11-year, the Offerman edition. But like I can like imagine like sitting around like even
Bonding
memories of like
over this,
myself like sitting around a campfire.
Yeah.
Not like before any of like being able to drink or anything like that. Just like with friends sitting around a campfire, enjoying yourselves. Just that smell of smoke.
I feel bad for tainting you right now because that is something. It's very fun to drink this for the first time in that environment.
I do feel bad about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that. I've had this way before though.
Oh, okay. That's not our fault. Yay!
Because I mean,
it's his fault, not your fault.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, when you reach for this bottle now, it's like you're automatically. For me, it goes back to either the time that I think I had it in Colorado the first time, with Henry and Jack and Brooklyn. It wasn't the same time you were there, but and then the next time after that was probably the first time I bought this bottle when Brooklyn, you and I were at Washington, and we finished it off in Oregon. Over a 2-week span, and that really sealed the deal. Watching the other guys on top of this like hill stone mountain thing.
I'm glad the other guy is getting some. I think it's getting some recognition these days because
it deserves it.
It deserves it. That is a hilarious.
It's a great movie. It's so quotable.
Yeah, it's super quotable. But I don't know. I guess I
Will
never hear about it. But
No,
online I do always see a reference. So it's like everyone knows that this is a good movie, but no one talks about it.
Michael Keaton is
guys,
one of those shining side characters that just makes that movie.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Come on, man.
I don't want no scrubs.
Come on.
TLC
Again.
We don't want no scrubs right now.
Looks like they put a varnish on this for you.
Gator needs his gat.
Yep. We will have an orgy in your car.
That is a great movie.
Yep.
Gator needs
Shake your
walking
dick. Shake your dicks out. His pissy contest is over.
There Goes My Hero by Foo Fighters.
Yep.
Watching
Aim for the Bushes.
Yeah.
That movie probably made that song one of my favorites. Right after that.
It's a new light. All right, should we move on? Actually, can I? I brought a runner up just in case.
Let's save that for after.
Sure.
Let's save that after.
Yeah, I was afraid that Carter had brought the same thing that I did, so I knew I had to bring a second.
Well, save that for later.
Yeah, I'll save it for later.
Zach, could you actually pour me some water?
Yep.
And then, so we'll go on to, I guess it's my turn now to tell a story, and then reveal my pick for today. So camping for me has always kind of been a part of my summers, part of the family friends doing that. So it's always filled with good memories and stuff, starting back in the Capitogama trip that we did, and ending most recently to last year's trip with Washington, Oregon, and checking that out. So whiskey, for the most part, obviously has only been somewhat recently that it's been a part of the camping trips, and starting with the story that I think I'm going to highlight is probably 2018 when we went to Colorado with Henry and Jack and Brooklyn, who's been on the podcast. And we were in Colorado. I forget what town. It might have been Telluride. It might have been, something else. But a couple days previous, we'd done Black Bear Pass and the Forerunner, and Brooklyn and I yelling at each other, trying hard not to hide the fact that we're scared that one of us is going to kill the other person and be responsible for us rolling down this trail. But so that Black Bear Pass right off the bat is a memory for me that I think will last a long time, and how much worse it was in person than the videos showed somehow. Mm-hmm. But and then up there now is a picture. We made a little 3x4 label of one of our other members that had him. Was a photo taken of
his grad party. You mean
on his grad party?
Yeah, it was his grad party.
Sword and shield, and saying essentially, "I never lose." And then you fill in the blank. Essentially, maybe you can get creative and come up with your own. But we put a label up there because he did not attend that trip with us at last minute. So we would leave these stickers at locations that we felt like this needs it. Mm-hmm. So there was a sign that was sticker bombed up there, then we put it up there, and I would love to know if it's still there.
I was just gonna say I'd love to go back and just see if that sticker is still there. That'd be so worth it to see if the sticker was still there.
Mm-hmm. But so from that point, and a couple days later, we were camping at a higher elevation, and there was a turnaround in the camp, and Henry had set up his hammock Ruckle and I were sleeping in a tent that day, and I think Jack also had a hammock, and we were sitting around. I was sitting around the campfire, Henry and Jack, playing my Switch, playing some Legend of Zelda, with my back up against the woods. They're talking, and they're like, "Oh man, the wind's, that tarp's moving, really pushing that tarp where his hammock is," and he's Jack's talking, and he's like, "Yeah, man, it sounds like footsteps." And Henry's like, he shines the light over there, and he's like, "Huh, that's weird." Doesn't see anything, and then turns the light off. I'm still playing my Switch, and then they say, "Oh, what the crap!" Stand up and start running, not walking, running to the truck. And I see that, I'm like,
protection.
My back's turned. Something's behind me.
Yep.
There's like a bear or a cougar or something. And I get up and beat Jack and Henry to the truck, open the back door of his truck, filled with our food for the camping trip, breads, hot dog bun, chips, and I just dive in the back and shut the door. And they get in the front seat, and they're like, "Oh my God, did you see that? Did you see that?" And they're like, Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, "What was it? What did we see?" And then Brooklyn, who is setting up his sleeping accommodations in the tent, peeks his head out. He's like, What's going on?" And we're in the truck, and Henry rolls the window down like 3 inches, like, "Get to your car." Because he was parked in front of us, and we wanted to spin around and turn some lights on. And you just see the terror in his face, because he doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to process it. He just knows that all of a sudden we were sitting in the fire not too far away from the tent, and we're gone. We're like 50 feet away in a second. And he's freaked out. And he's like, oh. So he's looking around, shining the light, opens the tent, starts running to his car. And I have to say that, so previously on this trip, his 4Runner had developed electrical gremlins with the car alarm system. So if you had opened the door, even if it wasn't locked and stuff, it would set the alarm off. And it was very annoying. So from that point on, he was disconnecting his batteries. Okay, so now then people know that. So he runs to his car, opens the door, gets in, doesn't start it. Henry's like, "What the heck? Why isn't he starting this thing and pulling out?" And then he opens the door, looks out, kind of looks around, makes sure nothing's by him, and you see the hood pop.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh my God,
he disconnected the battery."
Stupid. And I still don't know what they saw.
Right.
No idea. So he looks
probably
around
some
again.
snuffleupagus or something.
Exactly. Opens it up.
Or just a big squirrel.
He's half out of the car, half in the car, just looking around. Runs to the front of the car, opens the hood quick, throws the battery cables back on, shuts the hood, bang, gets in the car, shuts the door, turns the car on, and then we just start driving in a circle for a little bit. And then we're like, all right, we don't see anything. And then he stopped, we get out, and we're like,
what was that?
We're like, what? Brooklyn's like, what's going on? What's going on? We're like, he's like, I don't know, just start your car and drive around. So they're not telling us anything. We get out finally, stop the car, and essentially to this day, I'm not 100% sure on what they saw. I've heard two different things, because when they were there, they said it was probably nothing. It was probably just something jumping down from the top branch down and moved it. But then Jack said later that what they saw was something bigger. And they're like, that's not what you said when we were camping. He's like, yeah, I think Henry kind of was just saying stuff to,
downplay it.
So we slept in the car that night.
Yeah. Yep. Given.
So, Brooklyn was just completely scared out of his mind. And so that was, one of the camping experiences I have. And
now we're going to get to the whiskey too.
Lagavulin, that was actually, I think the Lagavulin 16 was on that trip.
Was it?
But that is not the one that I selected.
The Distiller's Edition?
I will go get what I selected.
Okay.
It's Distiller's Edition.
Yeah, I'm just going to guess it's Lagavulin of some kind.
Well, that's kind of what I'm assuming too.
We're great friends of Log here.
Log is good.
Yeah, I'll fill in a quick story
Log is good.
While we were
Log is
camping,
good. And stuff.
with that Henry character. Him and another guy and I went to Washington. We flew there, rented a truck, drove to Olympia National Park, and just stayed in this little campground in the mountains of Olympia National. And it was kind of clamping, you know. We set up hammocks and it's all campground. There's a bathroom there and stuff, and public water is fun, you know. It was just fun, nice day trip, and I did not prepare well. My hammock was not insulated. My sleeping bag was not insulated. We bought all this stuff in Seattle because it was free same day shipping from Amazon because it's in Seattle. So I bought all the wrong stuff. Slept on a freezing hammock, and I just stayed up all night. I ended up going to that bathroom and played my 3DS all night long so that I wasn't cold. And woke up, and then we went down back to the main town, and I ate the most I've ever eaten for breakfast in my entire life that day. Even the waitress was like, "Are you done yet?"
No!
It was like 4 big pancakes, 2 omelets, you know, 2 sides of hash browns. I was starving. I just couldn't stop eating. And
And
finally
she looked into his eyes and
finally
saw
on the last pancake, I was like
crazy
halfway
look.
through. I'm like, you know what? I'm done now. I'm done. She's like,
I'm done
You
now.
want separate checks?
Yes.
and then the other 2 were like, yeah, we want separate checks.
This kid spent like $100 on food.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Whiskey time.
So
Yeah, it doesn't look like a log bottle.
my bag is in a brown. My bottle is in a brown paper bag right now, so they don't know yet.
Was that bought today?
Let's see here. No, I did not buy it. I just stole your bag.
Before I can.
Ardbeg.
Yeah. Ardbeg. Oh.
Ardbeg 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Dylan has specifically said that he's never had Lafroig before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somehow I have not had a Lafroig.
Right.
I was
thought-
gonna buy that.
I thought
Lafroig.
maybe you would have tried it, you know.
So for me, the Lagavulin 16 still holds, I think, more memories and stuff. But from the standpoint of
Strictly campfire.
strictly
camping whiskey.
flavor profile, I think, and the quintessentialness of camping, I think the Ardbeg with a little bit more smoke stands up to everything a little bit nicer. The Lagavulin 16, if I had the choice between the 2, I'm gonna go with the Lagavulin 16 100% of the time.
Yeah, but how much is the 10? Price
45.
Exactly. Almost half the price.
Yeah, the 16 was what, 80?
It's actually only 70.
You spent 70, that's a good price. That's yeah.
That's the stock.
I'd buy that. I'd probably go buy that again.
It was on sale, quote unquote.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
So
A total.
you know, the Ardbeg 10 for me doesn't have the same memory as the 16, as I've said, but we're gonna do a cork pop on this. Pretty good. Pour some of my first. It's a lot clearer.
Means it's been sitting.
No, it's just clear.
It means it's been sitting.
But I've never brought this one camping, but I'd definitely bring this one camping. Most of the time, it's Lagavulin 16.
I
Something
think
special.
a log would be best camping.
Back when $70 is like, that's a lot to spend on whiskey. No, it's like
Especially to share with, you know,
$120.
like,
That sounds pretty reasonable. So, the Lagavulin or the Ardbeg.
That's like sour off the nose. That's
yeah.
This is a
it's like tart. Yeah,
well
very sour
used
tart.
bottle.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of air.
Yeah.
So that could be. We just had a fresh crack of the 16, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, this 10 is almost gone, by the way.
Yeah.
For anyone watching, there's like 1, maybe 2 glasses left.
might have to kill it tonight. Maybe.
It smells like a Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah, it does somehow
Uh-huh.
with a little bit of smoke.
Gummy. It's like,
It's like a gummy Sour Patch
gummy
Kid
sweetness.
that you like smoked.
You left it by the fire.
Yeah, like you
nice.
left
Nice lingering aftertaste.
or like skewered a gummy like a Sour Patch Kid and then just kind of like slow roasted it over the fire.
Yeah.
It tastes a little off, but I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just
I think it's
psychosomatic.
because well, it's because A, we came from the log, and B, the air. It's very light, even more so than usual.
Yeah, I think
Hold on.
I love that it turned into the beginning half a review of the 11 to the 16 by complete accident. Mm-hmm. And I love that all three of us picked Isla's
Scotches.
scotches.
That's
And,
good job, Scotland. Keep
to
doing what you
you.
do.
Making camping trips fun and tolerable for adults.
Yeah. Just don't. If they made like cask strength or higher proof scotches, maybe some of those memories would be forgotten just because of maybe
How much you
drink,
Maybe,
you know?
maybe for some people.
I just remember this was good.
Yeah, this was really good. I had a
remember
great time. What
fun.
happened? I don't know.
I have no idea.
It was fun though. There was a fire. It was hot. Then I
Tell
fell
us about your
asleep.
camping trip. Well, we set up camp.
Oh.
And then
Cracked open a bottle.
And then I woke up.
And I woke up.
What about the other nights? It was all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Then we drove to this another really beautiful spot.
Weren't you camping for
how
2
was
weeks?
it? Like in the evening? Oh, I don't remember.
The dog is on.
Yeah, the dog is making some weird noises.
Oh man,
Good stuff.
we're almost at an hour. You know, love these longer episodes.
Let me just go over real quick what I brought. It's like,
Oh, we gotta get your sampling. Yeah, your. So what do we call this?
It's a bonus.
this is a runner-up. This is a bonus.
Runner-up.
whiskey.
I'll say
and
bonus.
it's not an Isla Scotch.
What? Disqualified.
No, it's Japanese. Wait. I want to guess. Well, I already saw the bottle.
This is they brought back the 9-year age statement of the Knob Creeks, and this is also the 120 proof of that.
I want to do. I think I told you.
Yes, please.
I want to do a comparison at some point.
So that I love the no age statement Knob Creek. I already love the 9-year age statement Knob Creek. And now they have a 120 proof version. That's not like
This is the single barrel.
yeah, this is the single barrel reserve.
Oh, I
120
thought this
proof.
was the regular 9-year small batch.
No, this is not.
Oh.
Actually, I saw a lot of those today.
So yeah, no, these are the fully stocked.
This was
Fully
essentially
stocked.
the other one that we brought on the camping trip that you and I and
Essentially.
Brooklyn went
Yep.
last time.
Yep. So
Obviously, it was a single barrel, so it's slightly different. But
Yeah, I saw this. I'm like, I had to have it, and this was really good.
Knob Creek
It's just
is
like the Knob Creek
yeah.
that I have.
This is a great.
Yeah.
But I have it's like the
You have the store pick.
MGM store pick, but it was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was somehow...
thrashed our palates.
Yeah.
The only redeeming fact about this is that the 120
Yeah,
will bring the heat to cut
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. You guys want to try it real quick?
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
One thing I hate is Knob Creeks. They put like strapping tape on it, and then they put.
I think it's the other way.
Even still. Oh yeah. Okay.
There you go.
There was so much difficulty.
I have so it's 120 proof
Single barrel.
single
Select.
barrel Knob Creek, but it's the MGM store pick.
What
From Brit's Pub
in Minneapolis?
in Minneapolis. So a
Interesting.
local bar.
You didn't bring that with by chance,
I
did
did
you?
not, unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
So I was just very intrigued by that because I didn't know if it was because Brits needed a way to get rid of it or if MGM was just kind of like, oh, this is something that could be, it's very well received by this.
Well, generally, Brits, they can't legally sell it because they don't have a liquor license distributing. That's the fact. That's why it's at the MGM.
I see.
So, I mean, they're
Quick
technically...
cork pop, guys.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Synthetic corks, man.
That's a 7, I would say. Not quite 8. But
I give it a 6.
yes, that's what you have to go through a store. But they're the ones that selected the barrel. So they tried it, sampled it, and then contracted it out probably to MGM to...
And then
the
MGM
retail
can sell
side.
to them.
Well, anyone can go in and buy it. So they can tell people like, customers like, hey, we got a pick from Knob Creek available only at MGM, and once it's gone because it's single barrel. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I didn't know if they were like able to source it and then they could sell it in
Right.
the restaurant. That's more what. I
oh
mean.
yeah, it's possible. I don't know.
Because with like Brits being a pub, like they might.
Can I see that bottle?
That is a nice.
That's
bottle.
the new design. I've never seen this before.
Oh, it just smells like smoke. I can't get the Scotch smell out of my glass.
I smell some of the bourbon.
Uh-huh.
Aged 9 years.
That's too close.
Yeah, I mean, the Isla's still in the glass.
Knob Creek is.
Can't tell you what it exactly smells like, but probably tastes good.
Is this leaking at the bottom, or is it? It can't be.
When I poured yours, it like dripped down the side.
Okay.
The glass.
Knob-
Oh yeah, so caramely.
Grapey. Tastes like grapes.
This doesn't burn at all. And I don't know why, because it should.
I get lots, not like throat burn, but yeah, the back of my tongue is very lit up.
Yeah, but it's not like, it's not
Hot.
burning
It's
like
not hot,
alcohol,
spicy.
like cask strength
No.
alcohol.
It's not.
And I don't know if it's just because we did the scotch first.
Maybe, but this isn't like.
It is very nice.
Yeah, very good.
It stands up to the scotches very well, I think.
Delicious.
It's much sweeter.
Very sweet.
I'm trying to like
the Knob
get
Creek
discernible notes from the difference between like
caramel, apple.
this. I mean,
cherry.
different from the
wood.
regular Knob Creek. I'm trying to.
We gotta do side by side. I think.
I think so.
I think I said
We'll do it
I said
later.
this
We'll
to
do
you
it
guys
later.
off air, but I want to do now that I personally have. I don't have the 9-year small batch, but I have the normal small batch. We can easily attain the 9-year age statement small batch now that it's released. But now I have the 12-year, and I recently purchased the Knob Creek 15-year.
15 years, baby.
I was pretty psyched about that. So we'll have to do that and maybe compare this single barrel. Maybe if Carter's willing to bring his at some point and do a Knob Creek run.
Well, we could do a Knob Creek run. Plus, I got that new Knob Creek today, which technically isn't bourbon. I mean, it is a rye,
What did you?
It's American with okay.
but
Yeah, it's not. Well,
it's not.
It's not comparable.
we
to
do
the
it for
other
kicks
Knob
and
Creeks,
giggles, but it's not the
It's
same.
not going to be the same because it's not going to have the same
Yeah.
flavor profile.
But
But
that's for next time.
that's next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Extraordinary Gentleman podcast. We hope you enjoyed reliving our experiences with camping and drinking while camping.
And I hope you have excellent whiskey recommendations
Please,
now.
I hope you have an
please do not listen to our
extraordinary
camping
day.
advice, but maybe you should listen to our drinking advice. Thanks a lot.
Enjoy.